lead oceanographic biologist for ARD, brilliant, claustrophobic, and obsessed with the unknown. Dr. X and his partner Sama, who is also his chief submersible pilot and systems engineer of the Vanguard, a $3 billion submersible bought by ARD.
Publicly, the Vanguard mission is a philanthropic endeavor. We are mapping deep-sea geothermal vents to provide clean energy solutions for the Pacific Rim. Your friend and his pilot believe this completely. Privately, we need what's in this box.
And privately?
The mission was to explore and document oceanic life, officially. The real reason was to explore an anomaly Theia satellites detected from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is where conflict for Helen arose. She and Kalik had become close in the recent months past. She found herself at a moral crossroads. It was either her career she worked so hard building, or the bond she and Kalik forged through the high-stakes, life-endangering missions they've been on together.
The perimeter team. False alarm. You know, Genesis pays me a lot of money to ensure our assets.
Our orbital telemetry detected a massive artificial structure at the bottom of the Challenger Deep. It is emitting an electromagnetic field that shouldn't exist. You are to secure whatever technology is down there.
And if the creators of that structure are home?
That is why you are carrying Project Omega. The board wants the
Erin didn't agree with this plan one bit, but what could she do? ARD owned her, so that means Genesis owned her as well. She was in between a rock and a hard place.
So what do you think would be our best approach?
I think we need to copy all of the Omega files to a secure location.
It was here where Erin began bridging the mission together, despite how she felt inside.
Kalik gets me the gate codes, I can get a vehicle in there, but not a truck. Something fast. We're gonna have to grab the chips out of the container, not take the whole box. We leave the container as a decoy.
Got it.
Suit up, Unit 7 Alpha. We've got a boat to catch.
Using the very plan herself, Kalik and Sama constructed to secure the Omega virus. Erin had went behind Dr. X and Sama's back and removed the Omega project alone, acting on Director Vance's initiatives.
Level 2 engaged. Gavel watch running silent.
That's containment.
Dr. X and a team of think tank techs were able to secure the breach and repair the damage caused by Erin, but not before she successfully obtained possession of the Omega virus. To understand the depth of deception at hand, one must know what the Omega Project is. The Omega Project, as it's known, was conceived by Dr. Kalik X as a bioweapon. Its intended purpose was mass extinction. This isn't a theory. In its chilling reality of its development, it also has the capability to cure any known genetic disorder, and much more. The implications of such a creation are profound, and it's vital to recognize the immense danger it represented.
If that vial cracks, if it gets into the HVAC of a building or a subway station, we aren't talking about a leak. We're talking about an extinction event.
Wiped. Biometrics, entry times, camera feeds, it's like a ghost walked in here.
Ghosts don't need keycards, Sam Altman. Someone inside Genesis did this.
Someone who knows exactly what that vial contains.
If this gets out, if Genesis finds out we lost the only weapon capable of wiping out an eastern seaboard in 24 hours, we're dead.
The weight sensors were recalibrated. Someone didn't just take it, they tricked the machine into thinking it's still there.
That requires a level 5 clearance code.
My code.
Or the board wants the tech, but we cannot risk an unknown biological entity reaching the surface. If you encounter hostile resistance, you will detonate the lockbox. The pathogen will sterilize the trench.
What Dr. X and Sama didn't know is that the Project Omega would be closer to them than they realize. Needing to prepare for their mission into Sector D, Dr. X and Sama let the ARD Internal Investigations Unit deal with the breach and stolen sample of Project Omega. After all, they were only scientists. Erin was Chief of Security. It was her job to investigate, not theirs.
At Harlow Bay, the Vanguard readies for another deep ocean mission. Its carbon ceramic skin, adaptive fins, and hydrogen electric drive are built for silence and stamina. Autonomous scouts check the waters while the crew runs final diagnostics.
Erin,
What is internal security doing on a deep-sea mapping dive?
Corporate observer, Doctor. The Vanguard is a $3 billion asset. The board wants to ensure their investment is properly managed.
You expecting to get mugged by a giant squid? We're going to the most isolated place on Earth. Weapons are a liability.
I'm not packing to get mugged like you said. This is the most isolated region on the Earth. This is just standard operating procedures.
At this point, Dr. X and Sama knew something wasn't right. All of the events leading up to now, the breaches, the missing Omega project that no one seemed to care is missing, all of the secrecy and extra ARD board meetings. This mission purpose was more than just scouting rocks underneath the ocean. After all, these people had invested $3 billion on this project. Meanwhile, 1,500 miles back on the coast of California, Director Vance and the other CEOs of ARD and Genesis were in distress. After not being able to establish communication with the Vanguard for 48 hours, Director Vance agreed to one rescue mission. He knew a secret the other board members didn't know, and he wanted no parts of it because if it ever came to light, he would be finished. But little did he know, it was too late. His fears had come true. The Vanguard had indeed encountered the war-class Russian nuclear submarine, and operating in the area, looking for the same thing he wanted. To say the least, Director Vance and the other officials doubted the return of the Vanguard. This was simply an investment towards their curiosity. On the other hand, you had the technicians involved with the specs of the mission, and that handful of people cared about the mission and the safety of its crew members.
Acoustic sensors show the titanium sphere is well within tolerances. Keep our descent rate steady at 2 meters per second. We don't want to blind our own sonar with cavitation balls.
The technology under the Pacific Ocean was of extraterrestrial origins. This wasn't a secret. At least to the governments it wasn't. Multiple agencies knew about the technology in the ocean, but none wanted to admit that it existed. Wanting the technology for his own nefarious purposes, Prime Minister of Russia, General Sokolov, sent in his elite T-Russian fleet to secure the technology. It was through international channels Sokolov heard of the endeavor that the ARD submarine, the Vanguard, was on, and was ordered to not let them acquire the technology by any means necessary, even if it meant eliminating the competition.
Visibility is down to less than a mile. Both flanking frigates confirm they are switching to secure data link for proximity alerts. Getting too thick out there for visual, Admiral. Keep them tight in the formation. No one strays. Aye, sir.
Actually pretty steady. Lights are holding. Getting more detail on the surface now.
Copy, Calypso. Keep it slow. Radiation's nudging up, but still within green.
Acknowledged.
What direct events didn't understand is that the anomaly that he referred to it as deep in the sea was actually extraterrestrial technology. It had been emitting the transmissions to its owners. That was the pulse he'd been detecting from the anomaly for 2 years.
Facing you.
Another 100 meters and they'll level off to survey Route C.
Any signs of fatigue or equipment drift?
None yet. Life support's running smooth. Stabilizers holding within a 1/10 of a degree.
Good. If conditions change, I need to know before the press does.
We'll flag any deviation instantly. Telemetry feeds here and at Mission Control Station.
On the edge of international waters, Commander Dmitry Sokov and his Russian fleet set a perimeter to secure their war-class nuclear submarine. While it retrieved the Vanguard, they were playing with World War III on this endeavor. The Kremlin couldn't express more the importance of remaining discreet.
No, sir, airborne. High-altitude loitering pattern. Signature is too small for a manned aircraft. It's a drone. Unidentified, likely a Global Hawk variant observing the formation. Distance, 80 kilometers encircling. They are keeping their distance, just watching us pay. Visibility.
Monitoring around the pieces, we can't get a handshake.
Can you raise them?
Negative. Current's cutting the signal to pieces, we can't get a handshake.
Is she stable?
Spinning but holding depth. If that tether stays wrapped, she's not going anywhere.
Understood. Keep eyes on her and plot us a retrieval route. We'll prepare a recovery order.
Copy that. Starting count now.
30 hours ago, our satellite captured this, here, in the Barents Sea. International water. A thermal spike followed by gravity distortion.
It's growing? Yes.
Radius has doubled in 12 hours. Energy spectrum unknown.
Or it's an American device, a test. We sail in blind, they close the trap.
Helm, keep us steady. 3 knots. Bring us right down the line.
Skeptical about the whole situation, Prime Minister Sokolov gave the orders to proceed with Operation Van Helsing, which was capturing the Vanguard. They hadn't decided what they would do after they captured the ARD $3 billion asset. They figured they'll hold on to it for safekeeping. After all, their American buddies would appreciate the hospitality